segment.
Let's get to everyone's favorite segment of the week now, On the Nose, starring your good friend Ariel Helwani. Don't leave me hanging. There it is.
It's time for a good old-fashioned
I feel like once I say on the nose, that's
fans.
the key. Like we get, sometimes we can just go. No time to waste. I mean, people are walking to the cage.
From the man
Oh, you
himself,
get the fist bump. All right. I mean, it was quite the spiel that he just gave
from
us.
the Fox Studios in beautiful
He was
New York
tired.
City,
Oh, you're not on the
it's
air.
On the
Okay, so I'm just talking to myself.
And now, to
I
answer
thought we
your questions,
agreed that would never
Get out of
happen.
your seats and on your feet because here he is.
Well,
Ariel Helwani.
thank you very much to Mike Heck for that tremendous theme song. I still don't know, honestly, what to make of that Sean Strickland interview. I mean, at this point, how many people have we talked to on this show and in my career? Over 1,000? Yes, I think that's fair. I don't know if it was offensive. I don't think it was offensive towards anyone. It was more just alarming and jarring to hear a man so casually talk about things like death like that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It took a lot out of me. I got to be honest. Like I appreciate the honesty and the candor. I really do. Like it's not an easy thing to speak like that. And I don't think he was joking whatsoever. It was just different. It was very different. Yeah, a roller coaster of emotions today. In any event, let's go to some questions. ArielHelwani.substack.com is where you left those questions for me. Another great amount of questions have been left, 88 as of this very second. Let's get to it. Alex, Helwani rewind of the day, on this day. Oh, wow. This guy found my tweet from October 27, 2011. That's crazy. 10 years ago today. I wrote, Dana White announces that Jon Anik, formerly of ESPN, is the newest addition of the UFC family. Starts in January. Congrats, John. Well deserved. I wrote that. Now this is what Alex writes. With today marking 10 years since this announcement, figured I'd ask you, for you, where does Jon Anik stand in the history of UFC and MMA media? Been a while since we've seen him on your shows. Hopefully we'll get to talk to him sometime soon. I think he is the best play-by-play man in the history of the UFC. Just my opinion. I think he is the most well-researched. I think he is incredibly professional. I think the UFC hasn't had a lot, and it's no knock on Goldie, and I hope no one takes it this way. But I think that there can only be one. I think Jon Anik at this point has become the best in UFC history. And dare I say, I mean, there isn't a ton to choose from, but I hold Mauro Ranallo in very high regard. He's on the short list. He's up there. I think Mauro is the greatest combat sports broadcaster of our lifetime, the most versatile. Boxing, MMA, pro wrestling, kickboxing, he can do it all. But as far as MMA goes, solely MMA, Anik is up there. I mean, who else? Who do you put above him? And the UFC has some good ones now. Gooden, Brendan Fitzgerald. I think Sean Grande does a great job for Bellator, and I'd love to see more of him. Goldie's obviously a legend. Gus Johnson's run wasn't that great, but there haven't been a ton. So yeah, Anik's had a great run, and as far as UFC is concerned, I think he's the best. Hola Ariel from El Cubano. As everyone knows, Nate Diaz has one fight left on his contract. Hypothetically speaking, if Khamzat Chimaev wins this Saturday, would the UFC try to book him against Nate? I do believe so, yes. Especially if they can't get a deal done. They are listen to Dana White's comments about Nate Diaz a couple days ago to Aaron Bronstetter. This is 101. 101. And it's the same with the Kayla Harrison stuff. And usually when you can look at the comments and digest them and read between the lines, you can actually find a bit of the truth. I think Dana White knows that at this point, it's probably going to cost a lot to get Kayla Harrison. And so that's why he says those things about her. And look, he's a businessman. He's a promoter. He's going to do what's in the best interest of his business, his company, his promotion, the UFC. Same with Nathan Diaz. If someone's on the outs, on the way out, in a contract negotiation, you're not going to see him go out there and publicly praise that person, because then those words will be used against you. Wait, you just said I'm one of the best fighters in the world and you don't want to pay me? So yeah, if we get to a point, just watch. If we get to a point where it looks like Nate wants out, just watch. Khamzat, Islam, Pick one of those guys. One of those guys that would be a very bad style matchup for him. Then it's going to get really interesting. Now we're going to start to see who's going to win out. I mean, you got Vicente Luque versus Nate Diaz. That's not of interest. When you just did Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz, you've got Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz, and that's not of interest. When you just did Leon Edwards versus Nate, like, come on. We're all smarter than that. If Anthony Joshua was under the tutelage of Helwani Boxing, he would KO Usyk and Fury in under 3 minutes combined. I do agree. Can you start Helwani BJJ to teach Dillon Danis? Lost cause. Dillon's got to figure out what he wants to do. This is no cap. This is in all seriousness. I don't think he's going down the right path. I think the trolling and all that was fun to a certain degree, but this man is a great athlete, a great BJJ practitioner, highly respected in that world. I think he needs to remember that. It's fun in games at 2 a.m. to say you could beat Francis Ngannou, but after a while, it hurts your credibility. No one's laughing at this. They're laughing at you. They're not supporting this. They're rooting for your demise. You don't want that. You need the fans behind you. I don't care what anyone says. You don't want the bad kind of heat. Now, there's certain kind of heat that's good that will lead to people buying pay-per-views to see you get whooped, but I don't think that he's in that spot anymore. So, just my 2 cents. I tried to convey that, but I don't know if it worked. This is from my guy, Lewis. Happy Hump Day, Helwani. What are some of your favorite sporting/entertainment events you were in attendance for? List off the highlight reel moments you witnessed with your very own eyes. Caveat to that, are there any that you were in attendance for that were more entertaining when played back at home? Shout out to Mama Knows if she still listens each and every show. She does, and she sends me a text before each and every show, and she's the greatest of all time. There is no more supportive and better mother on this planet than Mama Knows. Now, sporting events, tough one. I had some great moments at the Olympic Stadium with my friends watching the Montreal Expos back in the day. I got to go to the last game at the Montreal Forum. The Canadians were playing. I got to go to the first game at the Molson Center, now known as the Bell Center, when the Canadians played the Rangers in '95. I've been to the NBA Finals when the Nets played the Spurs in New Jersey. Never been to a Super Bowl. Never been to a World Series. Been to some playoff games, baseball playoff games, Yankees against Astros a couple years back. I think it was 2017, in fact. Wrestling, I've been to WrestleMania. I was at WrestleMania X8, 18 in Toronto, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. So, yeah, there's been some great moments. Basketball games, Knicks games at MSG, some Knicks playoff games. I don't know if I could rank them for you, but there's been some great ones. And that's in addition to all the MMA games. And, yeah, usually when you're there, it's better. I'll say this. I'll overshare since Kane shared with me. As I'm this, I'm in this Helwani, unfiltered Helwani, free Helwani, independent Helwani state of mind. I was at one of my favorite moments, one of my favorite experiences as a kid, as a teen. I mean, at this point, I was probably more than a teenager. I was probably 21, 22. I know exactly what I was. 2003, I think it was. So I was 21. I was at Expos Giants with my friends. Shout out to Brandon Svark, who watches this show sometimes, my longtime friend who I've known longer than the vast majority of the people that I'm friends with till this day. We're at Expos Giants, and the Expos are down 3-0 in the bottom of the 9th. Bases loaded. Brad Wilkerson comes up to the plate. Now, I'm not a big Vice guy. I don't really indulge. Not a big drinker, not a big smoker. I said to my friends, Brandon was there with me. I think Alan Dudkowitz was there. I could be wrong. And I said to him, and they would always try to get me to, partake in a little wacky tobacco, as they say. And I said, all right, if he hits a walk-off grand slam, I'll do it with you guys. And lo and behold, he did. Look it up. August 2003, Brad Wilkerson hit a walk-off grand slam against the San Francisco Giants. And I'm a man of my word. I had to partake. So that was a great moment. Hey, Ariel. I'm a big fan of Yuri Prochaska, and it got me thinking, who do you think has the most exciting fighting style in MMA today? Yuri's up there. Izzy's up there. Rose, love watching Rose. Those are some that come to mind. If you were a wrestling manager, from Will Brewer, alongside Kayla Harrison, what MMA fighters or pro wrestling stars would you want to be a Helwani guy or girl? Oh my gosh, that is such a great question. I mean, Kayla's up there because I think we can run roughshod over all the jabrones in AEW or WWE. I mean, I would take her to the top. Izzy, I like Izzy's style. Izzy's vlogs of him watching the fights in bed, drinking, eating are absolutely hilarious. The last one with Marvin Vettori and Paulo Costa was fantastic. I think I could do big things for Francis Ngannou. I think I could be a mouthpiece. I mean, I could be his advocate and cut a mean promo on all the haters and all the people that don't support him and all the people who don't have his back, who don't push him and market him the way in which he deserves to be marketed. I think I could do big business with old Francis Ngannou. Let me see here. I mean, of course, I've been saying for a long time that I think Corey Sandhagen at some point will be a champ. Cyril Gane, I think the dynamic of me, the scrawny Jew with the glasses alongside the beast, those larger than life figures. I think that could be big business. I really do. I think I could do big business with Chris Cyborg. Valentina, you kidding me? I mean, you talk about a stable right there. There are some that don't need the help on the mic, but the best dynamics is when you got the manager who could cut promos on your behalf on the mic. Just, look at good old Paul Heyman. Did I lose my spot here? Maybe. Okay. What is Sean Shelby like? Wow, what a question. Sean Shelby, Sean Shelby and I used to have a really good relationship. He's a little curmudgeonly like. And I don't really say that in a mean way. Some of my best friends are curmudgeons, and I love them for it. I don't think he likes me anymore. We used to kind of, butt heads a little bit on text, and I think he doesn't like MMA media. I don't know. I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's one of the greatest MMA. I mean, he's number 2, right, behind Joe Silva. So I don't know why he doesn't like me. He's probably been drinking a lot of that haterade over at Zoof HQ for a very long time. But I have nothing bad to say about Sean Shelby. I have a lot of respect for him. He's done a lot of great things. He was a huge part of WEC. He was given a really tough gig with Strikeforce. He's probably overworked and underpaid, if I'm being 100% honest. It's a tough gig. It's crazy to me that they have Shelby and Mick Maynard as the sole matchmakers for that entire company. And they don't have a lot of help. Like, they don't have a ton of assistants and scouts. It's just them. That's insane to me. Yeah, you got lawyers and stuff like that. But in terms of like the signing, the hiring, the firing, it's pretty much them. Shelby has his weight classes. Maynard has his. Back in the day, it was Joe Silva and Shelby. So, I mean, he's tough. I hear he doesn't respond to text very quickly. And I could go on and on. But overall, immense amount of respect. Hall of Famer. If I was, and if someone shows him this clip, and I'm sure someone will, and try to start some crap, make sure you keep this part in. If I was starting an MMA Hall of Fame, he'd be a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer for what he has contributed to the sport. Good morning, Ariel. Hope you are having a lovely day. For fighters like Dan Hardy, Michael Bisping, Paul Felder, and Michael Chiesa moving from the cage to behind the desk and making entirely new careers for themselves, which current UFC fighters will make the best in-booth commentators / analysts or media members in 10 to 15 years? For quality, Anthony Smith, Michelle Watterson, Michael Chandler. For banter, Sugar Sean, Till, and Perry would be my picks. New subscriber, much love from the UK. Tough one. Usman, maybe. I mean, they're using a lot of the good guys. I mean, I'm sure there are tons out there, but no one that really jumps out at me. Yeah. I don't really have a good answer for that one, to be honest. I'm looking up some names here on the roster, but no one's really jumping out at this moment. I'm sure I could think of someone, but Wonder Boy could be good. I think Chiesa is doing a good job. John Strickland. Let's see. Wonder Boy. Yeah, someone wrote Wonder Boy. Ola Bapa. Following on from last week, this is neither a question or a comment. Real facts time. If you're a fighter and you are too afraid to upset the guy you pay by utilizing the biggest MMA fan platform to help further your own brand / image / contracts, you are a fool. Bisping, DC, and Chael, the holy trinity of MMA, understood the game of pushing your own career and not some BS narrative your manager wants to push to better his own standing and financial interests. Wise up, BS. All right. Enough said. Ariel, my man, you're the best in the business. 2-part question, if you don't mind. They're quick. Who do you think is going to win Saturday, Hangman or Islam? He's a huge dog. We'll go Dan Hangman Hooker. Why? Because Islam won't come on the show. That's why. No, but that's a tough one. I mean, I'll respect Islam. He's going to be great. Probably fights for the belt in the next year. In your mind, do you believe Kayla stays with PFL or goes to Bellator or UFC? I think she stays with PFL. I think PFL is going to break the bank and do whatever they can to keep her, to make her happy. She's got priorities. She has kids. I think that's very important, as it should be. No one should begrudge Kayla Harrison for following the money. That's what a smart business person, that's what a smart mother does. All right? I saw a media member out there, and you know what? I'll call him out. I saw Mike Bond tweet something about this. I'll call out Mike Bond because he wrote something recently about me. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, the Tito Ortiz-Anderson Silva fight, and he didn't say my name, which is fine. But I did text him and say, hey, next time at least at me, bro. He said we should all, something to the effect of we should all hope that she ends up in the UFC next year. And I wanted to write back, but I didn't want to get into the whole thing. I wanted to write back Mike, who I liked very much, who I always use as an example of how you should break into the sport of MMA because he found the niche. He knows I like him. But I wanted to say to him, Mike, no, we should hope that she gets paid. Enough of this weird fantasy that we all hope that everyone fights under the same umbrella. We want our favorite fighters to get paid. We want the best fighters to get paid because the window is short. And at some point they'll get old and they'll get injured and they won't be able to fight anymore. So screw your fantasy of everyone fighting on the same umbrella. By the way, with Julia Budd and with Megan Anderson potentially out there and other names, there might be more activity for her at 145 than in the UFC. There's one fight at 145 for her in the UFC. So it's not that big of a difference. Obviously, that fight is a huge fight, Amanda Nunes, but still. How much do I have to pay to get Helwani Afro to grow? I think those days are done. I would love to have dreads. I've always wanted to have dreads, but I think those days are done. It's just so thick. It's like steel wool up here. Big fan from Australia. I notice you don't follow anyone in the AFL. Have you ever watched the sport? The Australian Football League? Watched it casually, but I'm not a huge follower. I don't dislike it. There's enough out there. Can I send you an Adelaide Crows jersey for your studio? I'd love to make you a fan. Yes, I can be bought. There's a freaking Everton cup right there, a mug. I went from my lifelong favorite team, Leicester City, to Everton because they sent me some gear and stuff like that. And Molly McCann, convinced me. So yes, you want me to be an Adelaide Crows fan? Send me the gear. It'll be on the set, the most prestigious set and wall in the sport. Ariel, I'm going to the Bulls-Knicks game tomorrow with both teams on the rise. Can we bring that rivalry back? Let's go. The Bulls are pretenders. They are, okay, wow, they're 4-0. Great. They're a bunch of spare parts. There's no cohesion there. They haven't been building anything. I love DeMar DeRozan, but you're going to hang your hat on him? No. We've got Julius Randle. Did you see that game last night against the Philadelphia 76ers? We've got RJ Barrett. We've got the returning Kemba Walker. We've got Derrick Rose off the bench. We've got Mitchell Robinson, who hopefully is going to be healthy now for a considerable amount of time. We've got the best free agent signing of this past offseason, Evan Fournier, the French Prince himself. Yeah, that's right. I'm taking the nickname away from Frank Ntilikina. Cyril Gane can have it, but as far as the Knicks are concerned, he's the French Prince. Knicks are going to whoop the Bulls on Joakim Noah night in Chicago. Take it to the bank. Hello, Ariel. On your Monday show, you revealed that Conor McGregor toy fell and its legs broke off. It seems symbolic, seeing how far he's... Oh, come on. Relax. What are your thoughts on his behavior since his last 2 losses to Dustin? Conor's a legend. He is always going to be a legend. But yes, you would... I don't love the tweets. I don't love the tweet to Tony. That one was uncomfortable to read, and I don't know if he deleted it or not. I know there's allegations out there. I don't love to talk about the allegations because, sometimes they're true, sometimes they're not, and I don't think it's fair unless you talk to the people involved. But yeah, this isn't why people fell in love. And you guys know I have a lot of respect for him, And he's been very good to me. There's no denying that. And we hope, that we have this, I hope that I have this relationship with him where we can talk honestly about things, the good and the bad. But I think people want to get behind a fighter, a person, a man, an athlete who they feel proud to support. And I he could do whatever he wants in his life, but I hope we get back to that guy. And I know that he's in a very tough spot. The injury for someone like that, it must feel like a caged animal. You can't train as well or as actively. You can't run. You can't do all these things. That's got to be tough mentally. And that's no excuse for anything, especially if the allegations are true. Can't be punching people, especially as a fighter, especially with a left hand like that. So I don't know. It's unfortunate and it's uncomfortable. I don't like the personal stuff. I don't like the family stuff. Leave family out, leave religion out, leave all that stuff out. Please, especially family. Number one, please leave family out. Leave wives out, leave kids out. Dana White yesterday said, there's no line. There has to be a line. There has to be a line. Like that comment that the Contender Series fighter said, Oron, no. Terrorists, no. And it's not, we figured it out in the cage. That's repugnant. And shout out, and the name is escaping me at this point. I'll look it up. First of all, shame on all the people who said, Ariel won't say anything about this. You people suck. And that's the truth. You people, you're only just projecting. You're only just exposing yourself when you say this nonsense. I'm doing a freaking show for 4 hours. You think I'm scrolling through Twitter? You morons? Where's the name? Oh, I don't want to butcher it. Javid Basharat Oron Kalon. Javid was the one who was called the terrorist. Repugnant by Oron. Where's the apology? It was nice to see them shake hands. Maybe it happened privately. But there has to be repercussions for some repugnant speech. It can't be where the ultimate proving ground where everyone's too PC. No. Family, politics, religion, leave it out. Please. No one wants this. It doesn't help. It doesn't make us proud. It doesn't make us more interested. It's nonsense. It's low-hanging fruit. It's too personal. It's uncomfortable. It's unnecessary. Stop it. And they could say, it's funny to hear that, but God forbid you talk about fighter pay. God forbid you talk about unions. God forbid you talk about revenue sharing or collective bargaining. Now you're a despicable human being. But all this stuff is great. No problem. Say whatever you want. What's going on here? Is there a way to quantify how good, bad a fight card is? A fight night or a pay-per-view card is. Rankings are numbered themselves. So if a fighter is ranked 15 equals 1 point, ranked 14, 2 points. In this manner, UFC 267 is scoring 103 points. UFC 268, 101. Wow. 269, 100. Wow. Is that fair? It's actually not bad. And that's kind of crazy that 267 has more points than 268. Why do main event fighters get 4 cornermen and the remaining get 3? Because they're in the main event and that's just, you get a little bit more money. That's just part of the gig. Any chance of you doing any collabs with the Morning Combat guys? Nothing being discussed, but I'm not against it. Brett, a.k.a. Michael Cera, what is the brand of the chair you are currently sitting on? What? What kind of crazy question is that? I have no idea, but I still don't like it, just for the record. It kills my back. Frankie, can you get me a better chair, a more comfortable chair?
I think you're fine.
That's the response? You think I'm fine? You try sitting in this chair for 4 hours. Tony, your question is way too long. You're asking me about rankings? Tapology. Go to Tapology. Okay, you can rewind history and book one of these 3 dream fights that never happened. Fedor Brock, GSP Anderson, John Vellante, Todd Duffy. Get out of here with this nonsense. Fedor Brock would have been great. GSP Anderson, I wasn't all that into it. Big gap, 15 pounds in their prime. Ariel, first of all, congrats on your son's beast mode impression. First touchdowns are always remembered. Yes, he actually has a game at 6, which I'm probably going to miss now because we went so damn long on today's show. Anyways, I personally think that the Usman-Colby fight stop was... Okay, let me calm down. Anyways, I personally think that the Usman-Colby fight was stopped just a bit early. What are your thoughts? No, I thought it was stopped just fine. That whole thing was crazy. Are you a Colby fan? What's going on here? Colby still won't respond to me. Colby is the man. Colby cracks me up. The fights that I had on this man's behalf, if he had any idea, and I don't care, don't talk to me ever again. It's fine. I'm over it. But if you had any idea. Leor, my friend. Hey, Ariel, I finally made it to the MMA Hour. I hope TST will not cut me here as well. He won't. You talked about how awkward you were back in the day in college, but you only went to see someone and talked in the past year. So how did you overcome so much before you talked to a therapist? Only love from Israel, even for the great TST. See you Friday. Man, I don't know. There was something weird where when I talked into a camera with the red light on, I was okay. But then when the red light went off, like I didn't want to talk to anyone. It was just a weird thing. Push through, realize that there's only one life to live, and I didn't want to regret things when I was 85. But yes, at times that was tough. But for some reason, when it was like Casey backstage with me holding the camera, that was fine. And I could talk to the fighter and have confidence and courage. And then when everything was gone, I was like, brrr. No, but I wasn't one of those guys. Let me just paint a different kind of picture. Like I was never sheepish. I was never, shy around the fighters. I'm not someone who likes to draw attention to themselves when the show isn't happening. Just, I don't know. I feel like most broadcasters are that way. And I'm not even like a professional broadcaster. My friend Abhisek, dear Ariel, Aljo, I've seen him all sweaty with the champ Brandon Marab. Has he been cleared? Not yet. Is there any sort of murmur about Zuffa boxing? No. I always used to say, it's just a t-shirt. It's a sign. Where's Zuffa boxing at? Boxing needs to be fixed, blah, blah, blah. Listen to me more. Fun question. Would you like Conor to resume his post-recovery career in boxing ring? No. Go back to MMA. A couple more. How likely is it that we see Nate versus Ferguson in 2022? I'd say at this point, unless he re-signs, unlikely. Last fight, it won't be Nate. Excuse me, it won't be Ferguson. If you had $1 million to allocate to the UFC, where would it go? Past fighters or present fighters? Gosh. Just $1 million is not going to take you very far. I'll go 500. Wonderboy has a YouTube channel where he posts striking demonstrations for videos. Check it out. Cool. What brand, for the most part, are your button-ups from you wear on air? A bunch of random places. Supreme. Back before Supreme became mainstream. I was hardcore Supreme like 10 years ago. J. Crew. Some random places that I see along the way. No real people send me pictures from like Macy's and stuff. I'm not going to I'm not going to the factory places. My stuff has character, okay? This is not something that you just take off the rack. This is custom fit. No, none of them are custom, if I'm being honest. Where does the last name Helwani come from? Syria. It means like sweets. Apparently my great-great-grandfather was in the pastry business. How about that? Okay. What is your dream opportunity? I mean, I'm living the dream. I am living the dream. I love interviewing people. If I could do this show every single day for the rest of my life, talking to fight like this show, come on. What more do we want in life?
To watch Titanic.
Yes, Titanic would be great. Okay, just a couple more. I mean, there's so many. What do you think of the weigh-in show with DC and Sanko? I think they do a great job. I think it was smart for ESPN to say no mas. The weigh-in show that they do, UFC. See, look, this is why you come to me, because I will tell it you like it is. The good, the bad, the ugly. The producers at the UFC, which I consider buds, like we never had beef, they do a great job with that weigh-in show. It's the closest thing the UFC does to Inside the NBA, which I think is the best studio show in sports. It's fun. They do a great job with it. They really do. So shout out to them. Sanko, DC, they have other fighters involved there. It's great. Do you think we'll ever find out the truth of what was going on with Nick Diaz before his fight with Robbie? I don't know about it anytime soon, if I'm being honest. What's the craziest dream or nightmare you ever had? When I was a really young kid, I dreamed that my whole family's heads were on a conveyor belt. And for some reason that, like, I was like watching our heads on a conveyor belt. And that always stuck with me for some reason. I don't know why, but it was weird. Can you pull back the curtain a bit on the quick dissolution of the MMA Athletes Association? Well, what I'll say is I do believe some phone calls were made and some people took their foot off the gas. That's all I'll say at the moment. What you make of Paul Craig's last performance? He's the man. To the Oat Boy, what's up with Chael breaking news lately? He's trying to come after me. Back to the Friars for the Island Boy, Bubba. Yeah, Ariel, we haven't heard you mention This Is Us. I haven't watched This Is Us in a while. In fact, I need to get back to watching shows. I haven't watched shows in a very long time. Jesus Christ, there are so many questions here, and I think we're out of time. I'd keep singing. I'm going back to Abu Dhabi. I'm going back to Abu Dhabi. Listening to the Strickland interview, this is great. Holy F, this is insane. Not a question, but Andre Petrosky, what a guy. You should have him on the show. Also, I think his French girl's comment was indicating he wants you to draw the picture that will end up on the wall. Shout out Ariel. Very serious question. I'm wondering if you're an island boy. We talk about island boy. With the current debate of the best light heavyweight in the world, what is your current top 5 regardless of promotion? Ooh. Okay. I'll go with Jan. Corey. Glover Vadim. Jan Corey Glover Vadim. Jan Corey Glover Vadim. Who am I missing? Light heavyweight? Jan Corey Yuri. Yuri. Okay, last one. Can Ariel and Ali ever be friends? It's not on me, guys. It is not on me. I'm here. I come in peace. Love, giving people a platform. Let me tell you something straight up. This is not my beef. A deal was made to try and hurt me. And despite that, I will forever be the bigger man. And that's that. So any fighter wants to come on the show, God bless. You have an opportunity to come on the show, screen, sit. Kayla does it. Derek Brunson, Corey Anderson did it once and he didn't do it. I don't really understand. But as you can see, we give you what you need. We give you the best personalities, the best interviews, the best access that you could get on any show. It doesn't matter what sport. And with that, I think we're out of time.